Hello and welcome to Advanced A&P Online. I just wanted to record a brief video to explain our class a little more and let you guys see exactly where you should be each week and what assignments you should be completing. So I have our class up here on the screen, and the syllabus here has all the due dates that you need for completing information for the class. So I'll just look at our announcements page because I copied the course schedule onto the announcement page. That way you could pull this up pretty easily online. So week one, which was last week, you can see the topics for the lecture was just a review of general A&P and then basic biochemistry, and then there's a lecture quiz to complete that content. And then for lab, the topic was DNA mutations, RNA, and protein synthesis, and there's a lab quiz to finish up that as well. So these are, I just put the quizzes on here because that's where the bulk of your points are going to come from. I have some information about our special assignments like the nutrition study, the diet report, the immune study I have, or the immune report, I have that on the calendar as well, so you can see when those major due dates are. But for the bulk of what you're going to complete from week to week, you want to go to learning modules. And in week one, which was last week, I have right underneath here exactly what you need to know for week one, where you'll be getting points. So there were 10 points assigned for the Mastering A&P homework for lecture. There was an organic molecules quiz. I think I bumped that to 15 points, so I'll change that. But the lab homework on Mastering A&P, there were two lab worksheets that you had to complete. Those are worth 2 points. There's a lecture quiz for 25 points and a lab quiz for 10 points. So this right here, when you first come to learning modules, has everything that you need to complete for points that week. So you can almost use this as a check-off list of what I need to do and how many points it's worth. So now when I click on this folder and I go in here, the lab and the lecture is separated, so you can keep those resources separate from one another. If I go into the lab, there's my lab quiz I should take at the end of all of these assignments. I put it at the top just so you wouldn't miss it. But here are the PowerPoints, the objectives for lab. Here's a video that talks about some of the concepts from lab. This is an actual lab video that goes over specifically our lab in my face-to-face class, so I've recorded that for you. Lab homework on Mastering A&P, here's the link for that, and here's the link for the worksheets. Where you submit those worksheets is here, where it says lab worksheets 1 and 2. This is where you submit them. It's right here, and it says that you submit them here. So everything you need, I have answer keys for these worksheets now. So if you struggled with the worksheets, here's the answer keys to help you understand what the right answers were and learn from them so you're successful on the lab quiz. So the lab quiz is the last thing you're going to take when you're in the lab folder. Let's go back to our beginning folders here. Let's go into the lecture. The lecture, I have PowerPoints here. I have a list of those organic molecules. I have a video lecture of me going over the PowerPoint, so if there's something in the PowerPoint you weren't sure about, you can always go back and watch this video. Then there's the lecture quiz for the end of all of these assignments. You can take the quiz. And then we have homework on Mastering A&P to further help you understand the concepts related to biochemistry. And then we have that organic molecules quiz. And there are 57 questions in that. You are allowed 3 attempts. It's not due until Wednesday at 10 p.m. So you can take it up to 3 times. And all the information for being successful on that quiz is in these PowerPoints. Make sure you print off the notes pages. So if I click on this PowerPoint, open it up. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. Go to View at the top. You might need to download it to your computer to get all these choices to appear up on the top. But I click on View, I go to Notes pages, and then underneath each slide I have information that relates to each slide, and some of the terms that you need for the lab exam are listed here. For example, glycogen, starch, cellulose. I give you definitions for each of those, and those are also on the organic molecules quiz. So a lot of information here. Here's an example. Here's myelin described here, the function. That's on the organic molecules quiz. Here's fatty acids, or I'm sorry, triglycerides. That's on the organic molecules quiz. So be sure to look at that PowerPoint. It's going to really help you with that organic molecules quiz. And also, I made a list of organic molecules, so when you go to take the organic molecules quiz, you have a list of terms to choose from. These are the molecules that you need to know for the organic molecules quiz. So that'll help you as well. And all of these can be found in your textbook. So if you're having trouble finding them in the notes, then you can also look in your textbook for those. Just look in the back of the book in the appendix and you'll find that page reference to those particular molecules. So everything you have to do each week is found in the learning modules. This is the Mastering A&P website. I see a lot of you are registered. Everybody's registered now, which is great news. So all I have to do now is just look and see if there's anything out here that's due. And that's easy to do. We just click on assignments and I can look and see what is due. So I can see that these 3 things were due, and then the week 2 homework you can still work on. There is not any homework for lecture this week because the website was not working, so I made an alternative assignment. But there is lab homework for this week. So that's not due until next week. But be sure that you're working through the homework. These are learning activities. These are not like a test. I don't expect you to know the answers, but this is a guide as to what you should be studying and looking up in your book. So that's what the homework, that's the purpose of the homework. And I will update the grade book and transfer your grades from the Mastering A&P to our Blackboard site. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Again, the learning modules has everything you need to know. This week we're looking at metabolism, and there is a special assignment that all the advanced A&P students complete, and it's called the diet report. So if you click on this, it gives you all the information. Here's a handout to read about, and then I've created a wiki page where you can click on that and start making comments. So I see that 7 people have commented. So there's a conversation going on in your class here about the diet report, who's going to work together and which diet they're going to do. So be sure you get on our wiki page here and pick your diet. Again, it's all under learning modules in this week's folder. Everything is listed, points, due dates, everything. And there's 2 folders, lab and lecture. Work through the lab first, then the lecture, and you should be set. Any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Have a good week.